It's been a little while since I've come out with another Sinister Six video on a particular character, but today I am finally back with one on The Flash. Now, I've already done Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Green Lantern that have all done extremely well, especially that Batman video. Thank you to everyone who has watched it. Now, The Flash has been a requested one by many of you, and I understand The Flash already has a rogues gallery of 6 villains. In a way, making a Sinister Six video for The Flash is not really necessary, but I thought to myself, who cares? I'm gonna keep it the same format. I'm gonna give you 4 teams, none of which these teams will be the exact same rogues team he actually has. They're all gonna be different, and then the 4th team, as per usual, is going to be my personal favorite, or the one I would do. So with that being said, let's get into the first team. So team number 1 is going to be Captain Cold, Killer Frost, Weather Wizard, Golden Glider, Captain Boomerang, and Mirror Master. Now, this team might actually be the most similar to the actual rogues team that Flash has, just maybe adding or replacing certain characters in different ways. Maybe 1 or 2 of them might be different. You know, I tried to go with this system where at least half of this team is going to be able to do something with ice. So Captain Cold, Killer Frost, and even Weather Wizard, he'll be able to manipulate the weather enough to create some sort of snow or ice storm, or to be able to cool things around him cold enough to create ice in some way. Golden Glider gets thrown into the mix because she does have a family attachment to Captain Cold, so I have this idea that a brother-sister relationship, they will do anything for one another. And then Captain Boomerang and Mirror Master, say what you will about Boomerang, but Mirror Master is a real serious threat. And the reason why this team all comes together, because in my mind, this is just 6, at the very least 5 people who just hate the Flash and will join together to kill him. Now, because I always give you this particular character for each team, I think the character with the conscience on this team is going to end up being Golden Glider. She has reformed in the comic books before. She's not always a villain as I can remember, and I do believe she would maybe be the character to realize that what her brother is doing just maybe isn't the right call, and she would betray the team to maybe help the Flash in some way. I started with that as team 1 because that is very similar to the team he actually has, but moving on from here into team 2, it's where it gets a lot different. Team 2 is another one of these situations that I don't think one Flash is going to be able to handle this on his own. He's going to need a team of his own Flashes, or he's going to need a Justice League and more to help him stop this threat, because I don't think one Flash is handling this. Team 2 is Professor Zoom, which is Hunter Zolomon, Black Flash, Godspeed, Savitar, and Johnny Quick. This is just a bunch of Flashes from the multiverse and other timelines banding together to defeat the Flash for some nefarious reason. You could make the argument that one of these dudes alone is a problem. Professor Zoom alone is going to cause havoc. Godspeed might take an entire team of Flashes to take down. This might not be the most innovative team out there, but you know, if you can make a team of Batmans to go up against Batman, a team of Supermans to go up against Superman, a team of other Lantern Rings to go up against Green Lantern, you can do a team of Flashes to go up against the Flash. And I think the member of this villain squad that would maybe turn their back on the villains and potentially help out the hero would possibly be Johnny Quick. And the only reason why I'm really saying that is because he did take the plunge to sacrifice his own life for the existence of all life around the multiverse in Crisis on 2 Earths. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean he would be the one to help Barry or Wally, whatever Flash you're dealing with in this situation, but I think he is much more likely to help out the Flash than any of these other ones here. Team 3, we're gonna go with the Thinker, Gorilla Grodd, Pied Piper, Top, Abracadabra, and Dr. Alchemy. This team is my mental team. They're not a team that's going to need to take down the Flash in physicality and speed. This is just the team that can literally get in his head, because I am pretty sure every character here has a telekinesis function in their abilities. I mean, the Thinker's one of the most intelligent beings in the DC universe. Probably, you could argue this, one of Flash's smartest villains out there. Gorilla Grodd, come on, speaks for itself. Not only can Top spin at speeds that the Flash runs at, but once again, he has a telekinesis power as well. And whereas he might not be able to get into the mind of Flash or do anything to Flash, the Flash has called Top the master of all spinning cycles in every way. He can achieve speeds and feats that even the Flash can't at what he does. Also, even crazier about the character is that the faster he goes, the smarter he gets. Now, Abracadabra, I'm throwing in a magic character in here because of a lot of the magical spells he would be able to cast and what he could do to the Flash to assist the team he's on. But he also has a hypnosis ray where he could basically subdue or control the target within that ray, being the Flash. And also, let's not forget, this is the Genius team, and he also has a genius level intellect. Pied Piper, another genius on the team and somebody who can utilize hypnosis through the instruments he plays. Not only can the sounds of his flute create vibrations that travel at the speed of light, he can also hypnotize people through it as well. And then Dr. Alchemy may be the oddball part of this team, but I just thought that he could create some concoctions and some potions that maybe Abracadabra could utilize or the rest of this team could use. Think about it, they're all geniuses here. Whatever Alchemy could make, they would find ways and reasons to use it against the Flash. Now, I think the downfall of this team would actually be its brain power. There's too many smart people on here to coincide with one another and to actually agree working with each other without being the leader. You could make a case that every single one of these people on this team would think they're smart enough to be the leader, but I do think it would come down to Gorilla Grodd and the Thinker. I believe both of them would not get along in any way, and they would easily want to take over the team to execute their particular master plan that they have in mind. The Thinker would want to go one way, Gorilla Grodd would want to go another way, and that would keep this team very unstable. But once again, if you do need a team member who's going to turn on this team, it is going to be Pied Piper, and that is mainly because over history, Pied Piper has become a reformed villain. He has been bad at one point, but he's also been a hero at another. And whereas at one point Pied Piper may have wanted to join this team because we're messing with the Flash, which is the most he might want to do, I think everyone else on this team would want to kill him, and if they don't want to kill him, they want to ruin his life some way, whether it be doing something to him that ruins his life or doing something to the people he loves that ruins his life. And Pied Piper may not be willing to do that. So now, as per usual, here is my team 4. We have Gorilla Grodd, Professor Zoom, Mirror Master, Weather Wizard, Captain Cold, and Turbine. Once again, I think you could make an argument that some of these characters just wouldn't work well together, and yes, I am particularly looking at Gorilla Grodd and Professor Zoom. Not sure if those two guys would be able to get along and work with each other amongst a team. But regardless, when I look at this particular Sinister Six, I do believe there is enough variety, and there could be a couple of reasons why they would work together. A lot of Flash villains usually tend to hate the guy, and a lot of them tend to hate him out of jealousies. Mainly what I see this team doing is being there to prove to the Flash that no matter how fast you are not better than us. Obviously, you have Professor Zoom in this team, which almost counteracts that, because there are times where he can be faster than the Flash. It all depends on what version of the Flash we're dealing with. At what top speed can this Flash actually actually travel at, all those nitty-gritty details. I think this team would need to be led by Gorilla Grodd. I think Weather Wizard, Captain Cold, and Turbine would be used as the troopers, the characters who go out and actively fight the Flash. And yes, Turbine is basically the new version of Top. He even has a little bit of similarities to Savitar, but he is somewhat of a different character with the same powers of being able to use whirlwinds and cyclones at the speed of light. Gorilla Grodd would have this master plan. He would go to crazy depths just to prove that, hey, each one of us on this team are better than you, and when we all team up together, we are unstoppable. We're not just better than you, you simply can't stop us. And then Mirror Master and Professor Zoom, of course, they would make their way into the battlefield against the Flash. They would absolutely want to get a few punches in, maybe throw him around and humiliate him a little bit. But I do believe part of Gorilla Grodd's master plan, it would utilize Mirror Master and Professor Zoom doing something in the Speed Force to really screw with Barry or Wally or whatever other Flash character you would like to use in this particular scenario. And to look at a character who might turn on this team, you could potentially have a situation where Professor Zoom found Roscoe in the Speed Force, who's been trapped there for over 70 years since World War II. And basically he lies to Roscoe, saying that, oh, the person who put you here was Barry Allen. Hey, we're creating a Sinister Six team to take him down. You got abilities, you should join us to help take him down. And then throughout the process, throughout this whole event, he basically ends up finding out the truth that it wasn't Barry Allen who actually got him trapped there. It was actually Professor Zoom who traveled back in time to set up this whole plan in the first place. You know how the multiverse and time travel works. You could do something really wild with this story. That would then, of course, lead Turbine to be like, oh, Flash isn't my villain. It's all of them. But there you go, everyone. That is 4 teams of potential Sinister Six teams for the Flash. Of course, he does already have his 6 rogue villain squad, but I still thought I'd do this regardless because these videos seem to be really successful. A lot of you are enjoying them, and I enjoy making them. So guys, let me know in the comments below who would be in your Sinister Six for the Flash, and let me know other characters you'd like to see me make Sinister Six videos about. But that is all I have for you on this one, everyone, and until next time, I will talk to you all very soon.